Hi, and welcome to BES4. Today is going to be some lettering and editing and getting around and taking care of some cuteness today. It's October and we're going to look at a cute fall or Halloween decoration while we're doing this. So if you're brand new to BES4, don't despair. We will look at some very beginning part of this as well as what we're doing now. So just follow along and let's have some fun with this BES4 program because it's a lot of fun. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is go on up to the next page. If you don't know how to get to the next page with one already open, come up here to the top. See this right here? You can click right there and watch it pop up over here. Now this computer is a little slow, so bear with me. This is the one I happen to have this program on. And you can always get rid of other boxes, okay? It's asking me if I want to save that. I'm going to tell it no. Alrighty, let's come up here and look at all of our fonts, okay? Everything that's in this purple is going to be contained to lettering, fonts, etc. Okay, but before we get into that, let's move over here to add a design and let's find something really cute that's built into BES4. Okay, I don't want to go through a ton of my designs trying to pick something because it'll take us forever. And we can do, let's see, is there a cute fall Halloween emoji? I don't see it. Let's come up here to our box and let's hit, let's just go into designs and let's see what pulls up. Like I said, I'm sorry, this computer is a little on the slow side, but this is the one I happen to have BES4 on. And I guess football season's probably on or getting close to starting. I don't know. Not into that. Just looking for something fallish or Halloween. And I'm not seeing really anything in here. Let's look down to, wow. Alright, let's look in accents. And let's see what that folder contains. If there's something specific that you want to use, go into that folder and retrieve it. You don't have to use this accent one. No worries. Don't worry. Just use what you want. It's just sometimes it's a little easier to follow along on exactly what we're doing. There's a cute little gingerbread. We could use that. Oh my goodness, I can't believe there's not even a pumpkin on here. Very, very interesting. Alright, let's use the gingerbread instead, okay? So I'm double left clicking that, and there is my little gingerbread. You see the crosshairs right here? If I was to left click it again, we would have more than one, and we would just keep going wherever I'm left clicking at. Okay, see that? And let's come up here, let's hit that arrow, so that way we can stop that. See how it's now isolated? Let's grab that and move it over here. Now, I don't necessarily like working like that, so I'm going to come up here to 3D Draw and hit that so I can actually see. I am not wanting all of this, so I'm going to right click, come up here, and either hit delete or cut. It's your choice. If you know that you are just not going to use it again, then don't worry about it. So now our little gingerbread, he is up here, and let's put him in the center. Also, another thing you might want to consider is coming over here to hoop. Select your hoop that you're going to be working in. You like my Smurf. I've got multi-needle going here. Let's click that, okay, as well. So it brings up your multi-needle. Unclick it, it puts you back into your normal frame. So 100 by 100, which is perfect for a 4 by 4, and there is our little gingerbread man. Let's left click and drag and drop, or you can come over here and hit all items. See how this is highlighted? That means everything in this design is highlighted. I'm going to come over here and hover. See how my cursor has changed? I'm going to left click and drag and drop because I want my gingerbread man bigger. Okay, and I might have him a little too big right now, but it's okay. We can adjust as we go. Now let's put something cute with this, with some fonts. Okay, now you can start with your standard font, or we can come in here and get some stuff, but right now let's go ahead and start with that one. When you select your standard font, you're going to see your cursor has changed. See that? You're going to left click, and now you're ready to type. Okay, so let's put warm. Okay, and see, my color is white, so it's going to be really hard to read. Let's change colors real quick. Okay, here is our fonts over here. That's not a font I want. Let's click here. You can use your arrow keys on your with your keys, your arrows, or you can use your scroll bar with your mouse. You really want a mouse when you are digitizing. It makes it a lot easier. But I like to use my arrow keys here, and that way when I find something I'm interested in, it'll be highlighted. I'm just going to come over here and left click on it, and there is our new font. Come down and hit apply. And now we have our new font. Okay, I'm going to come up just a smidgen. Now we have a lot of housekeeping we can do here. Okay, and one of the things that you want to do before you really start getting heavily involved and moving letters around and things like that, so what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to come up and hit select. Okay, and see how it's now changed our box. Alright, so now I'm going to come over here to the right side. I'm going to scroll down. Okay, just keep scrolling down, and it's going to show us some, like our text here. It says warm. Scroll down, scroll down. I want you to scroll down all the way till you find the fill box. Okay, and it's going to let you know the standard type. You're in satin stitches, and here is our density. I want you to take that 4 and take it and make it a 3. So when you left click here, all you have to do is backspace and change it to a 3. Okay, and hit apply. Okay, sometimes you're going to see your lettering change and sometimes you won't. Then I want you to scroll down just a little bit more, and I want you to find underlay. When you find underlay, I want you to see you already have these stitches right here. This is everything under your top of your stitches. Okay, that's pretty tight where it says 2.0 down here in your density. You can see my computer still thinking, sorry. So right here, density 2.0, you can see that's fairly tight. I want you to left click there. See the cursor kind of right there at that 2.0. I want you to backspace, and I want you to make that a 3. That's going to loosen that up, and don't forget to hit apply. That's going to loosen these stitches up a little bit more. Okay, you need to do this, what I call housekeeping, before you really get in here and start changing letters around, because if you come in here and change letters around and work your spacing first, when you come over here to do your housekeeping, it's going to resort back to default setting. So I'm gonna take my mouse and I'm going to scroll up a little bit. I can make my letters bigger, or you can use your magnifying glass, which is over here in the left hand side. And excuse me, I'm sorry, that is for your thread colors. I have a different program. Let's see here, where are we going to go? We're going to go to the tools that has it where you can use your magnifying glass. No. Let me think about it. We usually have, and I may not have everything loaded on this computer. Like I said, it's not, it's an old computer, so bear with me, okay? So now, we're going to come on over here and we're going to we're going to click our normal text up here, and we want these highlighted. Okay, and what this means, what's happening now, is we're in a major editing mode. Everything that you see here, there is something different you can do with this word. You come up here, left click and drag, you can see it changes the directions. The easiest way to do this is come up here and hit undo, and put it right back where it was. The center one does some really cool stuff too. You'll left click it and drag it and let go. There's some really cool functions with this software. It's actually, I really enjoy it. I added it to my commercial software. So once again, everything that you see on this software highlighted is where you can edit your lettering. Now let's get into spacing. See how this W and this A is a little too far apart? And I want you to look too, I want you to see how that A is just underneath the line. And that's a little too much under there, but it's actually okay because once you start stitching, it kind of pulls in. I may look at adjusting it just a smidgen. Alright, so in order to do that, you come in and you left click on these blue boxes. And you want to see this green. The squares are for the size. You left click and drag. The circles are to rotate. Okay? And that's how you do that. Now if you want to go back like and do the spacing and move that A over, just move over to the left just a little bit, click out of it, and then back to these yellow. Now remember that the ones inside the letters are to work that letter. The ones in between the letters is your spacing. So you're gonna a couple of ways to do that. So you can left click, drag as a group over, so they all move over as a group. Okay, let's do that again. So I've moved it to the right. I'm going to come up here and grab it. See the crosshairs? Left click and drag to about where you think you should be. Okay. If you like that spacing, leave it. Make sure you have your crosshairs and drag. Okay. And we want to keep everybody about the same distance. Okay. And this is where you're going to fine tune exactly what you're looking for. Okay. Now if you wanted to change anything major as far as any more lettering, you can left click, double left click, and add another letter. Say maybe I put an E there by accident. Okay. When you see that arrow, if you look the white, where see the hand right here, and if we bring it down, see how we got the white arrow with the little black A? That means that's where you can add in more lettering. You've got to come out of this and come up here and hit select, okay, to get back out of this. Or you're going to type in more fonts if you don't. Alright, so now let's make it a little bit smaller, bring it down, grab it up here in the corner, excuse me, and bring that word down to size and put it where we want it. Okay, let's bring this up a little bit more, and I'm just scrolling to make it a little bit bigger. Alright, let's grab this gingerbread and make it a little smaller. So I've got my whole gingerbread highlighted to make sure we have it all highlighted up here to the top. Scroll down and my word is not highlighted, but everything in here is. So you can use this box up here in the left or the right and bring that gingerbread down. Okay. Now let's kind of put it in the center a little bit. Okay. See that 0 up here and 0, and that hand. When you see that hand, that means you can drag your designs around. Now let's go back and talk about this density. See this underlay we talked about earlier in that density? You need to change that. That's just too much, unless you're doing like a terry cloth towel or something like that. Okay. Right now we actually have our recipe set for woven fabrics, and we'll get into more of that, but you can actually tell this software what you're stitching on, of cotton, like I said, that's woven, duck cloth, whatever. So now we're going to left click outside of the box and unhighlight. Alright, so let's grab our little gingerbread and bring him on up a little bit more, kind of do so we can add another little font. Warm, I could have put we can put milk. Let's do that. Warm, let's see here, how can we do that? Warm, I don't know, we can put yummy, we can put whatever. Let's put yummy in there. So let's right click and get rid of that box. Now let's do this. Let's find a path, okay? And I want you to click on path, come down here, left click, a whole new box, okay? You'll scroll through and find something kind of what you want. Let's start with something simple. Look, it actually says simple. So we got a slight curve. See how that's going to go? So let's type in yummy. So all you have Y-U-M-M-Y, and let's change the color so we can see what we're doing. And we've got yummy on here, and let's hit apply. Okay? So once again, you can make it size to fit and then go do your editing. Just don't do a lot of rearranging because, like I said, it's going to default. So, but you can make it the size you want to fit right now. See that gap? We do not want that. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to do my editing. So I'm going to come to the right. If I want to change my font, I'm going to click on there. We're going to actually let me use my arrows because I want to see possibly, oh, look at that, possibly changing fonts into something different. That might be cute. Let's click Whimsy, hit apply, and that is cute. Okay. If we still don't like that, left click, use your arrows, wiggles, that's cute. Let's do wiggles. Left click, hit apply, and here we go. Now as you can see, that made it really small. Alright, so let's come over here, see our arrows, stitch it out. Now with this being said, this may not be the best font to use with this arch, okay? Even though it's absolutely adorable, that's going to create a lot of editing, and that's going to take a lot of time. Let's look at wishes and see what that says. So this is really good. That's kind of cute. Let's bring it on down. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to come up here, left click and drag, bring it on down, okay? And let's bring it over, and let's bring it up, bring it in, and I'm going to stick to that so that way I can show you a little bit more editing. And look, I want you to look right here. You see how those stitches are? Let's come over to zoom. See my zoom? I was looking for this earlier. We're going to left click here and we're going to catch that magnifying glass. And we're going to come over here, we're going to hover over that Y and that U and see how it brings it up. Disengage your magnifying glass up here and with hitting select. Our word is highlighted, so let's go take care of some editing. Scroll down to fill. I want you to bring that backspace it to a 3. Slide it on down. Density, I want you to bring it to at least a 3 and hit apply. See how those stitches changed right there? Okay. Let's look off. I want to look at taking off contour. Let's remove the contour. We unclicked it, and let's look and see what it does. It didn't change much of the stitching, and that's okay, not a problem. Let's put contour back because I like contour with these edges here. It makes the fabric behave a little bit better. Okay. So now let's come in here. And let's start editing, okay? And what I'm doing, I'm just using my mouse and left clicking and getting around. So remember I said we had to come up here and hit fonts to get this open. Now there's a couple different ways to do this. Remember individual letters right here. We're going to come down to this one down here. We're going to left click and bring it over. Okay? We're going to come over here, and we may need to move just one letter smidgen, or we may need to bring this one over, kind of rotate it a little bit. I want to come back into the groups. I'm going to bring my M over a little bit more. I'm going to slide over and take a look at that Y. Now I want that Y down a little bit more, okay? And I'm just going to left click it, bring that Y down, kind of moving around the smidgen. Okay, that's my word for the day, a smidgen. How's that? Let's play with this Y a little bit more. Let's kind of fine tune this Y, okay? So I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to come out here and left click. Now, we can also change the slant of these letters just by left clicking and dragging right here. Okay, isn't that cool? This program is a lot of fun. It's user friendly. It's not a digitizing program per se, but it has a lot of great features. Brother's done a great job with this one. And it's been out for a little bit. It does come with an SD card, so you can put that SD card in your machine, and then that way you can send designs from your software straight to your machine. Okay, so I like that. I'm going to come up here and left click. I'm going to make this a little smaller, and now I'm going to do some fine tuning with the size, okay? And I kind of like that. I'm going to bring it in a little bit here. Once again, if you need to make it bigger, just kind of fine tune your screen the easiest that works for you, okay? So I am kind of digging this. Boy, my words are silly today. Okay, so make sure you're on equal sides. You don't want this side standing out longer. You don't want this side out longer. And see that center mark right there? You want to make sure that is completely centered. And there's actually a couple different ways to go about doing this. We actually have some tools up here along the top, and you can come up and, let's see, is it tools? No, excuse me, arrange. Okay, we're going to go into that a whole lot longer. And we can actually, once that's highlighted, we can come up and we can just tell it center. And what it did is it brought it down to the center of the design, okay? But obviously we don't want it running through our gingerbread man, so we're just going to grab it and bring it back up on top of his head. Okay, and release. Now, another thing we can do, and what we want to do, is make sure our whole design is centered. Let's come up here. We can do it two ways. Remember, we can left click, drag, to make sure we get everything there, or just come up here and hit all items and make sure you got it all done. If you look up here under arrange, you see everything's highlighted. We can rotate, we can just do lots of stuff. I'm going to hit that center button because I now want my whole design centered, okay? Now if you want to come up and move that lettering around a little bit more, which I wouldn't leave it quite that close to his head. And you know what would be really cute is a little glass of milk right here. That would be adorable. Oh my goodness. If you have a design like the peanut butter jelly that has the glass or something, how cute. It's kind of weird, but it's okay. It's still cute. So anyways, that is how you're going to edit your fonts, okay, and make them nice and pretty. So let's see here. Let's do something else I can think of. We can highlight this and come up here to hoops, left click here, and we can tell it to fit that hoop, and it would just make it all bigger and keep it proportionate. Isn't that cool? So I really like that. I still wish I could find a little glass of milk and put in here. I wonder if accents, let's come over here and hit add design, and we'll go into accents and see if there happens to be one. If not, if you already have it digitized, there you go. Oh, we have a ghost and a candy corn. We could have used that, I guess. Well, I'm not seeing a what I'm looking for, but there is a cupcake there. That would be kind of cute to put under the word yummy. Okay, so there we go. That is kind of how you work with a design and changing your letters around. Okay, let's do one more really quick. I'm not going to save that, but if you wanted to save it and you don't know how, you're going to come up here to the letter B, left click, open the box, and you're going to come down all the way down and you're going to hit save as. See how this opened this up? You're going to click Save As. And you're going to have some kind of organization, hopefully, to your files. I'm just clicking my box because I'm actually going to show you a little bit on how I do this. So I'm going to hit BES4, and you can see all the stuff that not all the stuff, but most of the stuff. If you've not made a folder, that's how you're going to, I like to use my C drive. Go into BES4. Now, I want to make a new folder. So we're going to create a new folder. Now we're going to put in gingerbread or cuteness, or find some kind of name that you're going to remember. Okay, so we typed in cuteness. We're going to click open. We're going to click open again. Now we can put yummy or yum, whatever you want, gingerbread, so you know that name. There's a two-step to this process. Okay, we're going to leave this in the working file. Okay, you need to leave it working file, which is this BRF. Click save. Now, in order for your machine to read this and actually use it as a embroidery design, I want you to come back up to your button, come back down to Save As, click Save As. Now, it's going to bring your same name back up, same folder. Now, I want you to left click down here at the bottom, and I want you to scroll and look at your version. Don't mess with the top ones. Don't worry about these. These are for the multi-needles. So just kind of look around here. If we needed to split a design, we could. So I'm just going to click PES5. A lot of digitizers tell you it doesn't matter which one you pick. It really kind of does. Okay, not always, but there are times it is going to. Alright, so we got it PES. I'm assuming that, or you're going to left click to whatever file that you need. Okay, so left click, hit save. And now you have saved it into your files. Okay? Alright, let's get rid of that one. We can just sign out, hit a new one, and let's look at doing a monogram. Left click. I'll put mine in, not in order, but it's there. Hit apply. Let's come up and hit 3D. Let's left click it up here. Let's make it bigger. And let's go do our housework. I'm taking that density down to 3. I am taking down to at least 3. And hit apply. Now, one of the things don't let me forget, guys. Let's change that. So now I want my letters closer. We're going to come back up here. We're going to hit monogram. Open that up. And we can rearrange. Okay? Bring them closer together. We have them. Let's left click out of it. Let's go back up here to arrange. Hit center. And we're good to go. Okay? That is how you do it. It's that easy. Okay? And it's up to you to come up here and play with these different paths right here, okay? And so let me know if that helps you, and if you want to get into any more of these here. Let's come down here really quick. Let's come down to recipes, and let's left click, if we can do it here. Nope. So let's come on up here to the top, and we want to find our properties. Okay, so oh, by the way, that's where you send it to your machine. You can print it out. Can we be in tools? You can tell I have not used this one for a little bit. Let's hit view. Here we go. Preferences. This is what I wanted. Left click preferences. Let's talk a little bit about this one. Alright, let's change. We're going to do this on a let's just do normal. So when we do this, it's going to change our settings. Let's hit environment. I work in English. I don't work in metrics. That's how you change it over to inches instead of that. I'll leave this alone. Autosave, that's good right there. you want show warnings for large satins clicked. Okay, because our machines can only do satin stitches up to a certain size, and this lets you know when we've exceeded it. Your grid, if you want them on grid, I like to have grid on when I'm doing letters. You can change the sizes and the colors. Auto based, I do like to have an auto based from time to time. And when I'm doing an auto based, if I want my crosshairs to base, which would be in the center of the design, but I don't. I'm going to unselect that. 6 millimeters is good. Actually, I'm going to put that down to 5. I'm glad I looked in here because I haven't seen it for a while. Let's hit OK. Let's go back to preferences and do color sort. You can default is 5, which is perfect for me for right now, and you. Let's hit cancel. Alright, so let's go back to home. So that's kind of the way to go about doing things. Another quick tip is garment templates. We can come up here, we can say we're going to do the front of a baby onesie and kind of get an idea of what we're doing. Now if you need to resize it, you need to look over here and make sure all the pieces are highlighted, or it will not look kind of right. And I do kind of like to make it bigger, so kind of just, and remember this is just kind of an idea of what it looks like. Alright, it is not size proportionate, but it just gives you an idea of what your design is going to look like on a baby onesie or a polo shirt, whatever it is that you want to do. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you guys have any questions on any more of the editing with lettering, something else that you want to work on, give me a shout and we will get it going. Alright, thank you very much, and we will talk to you soon. Bye!